What's up? What's up? How was your weekend? How was the 4th of July weekend? What did y'all do? What's up? Yeah, I'm in Miami. I live in Miami. Where you live at? In Maui? Oh, that's dope. Germany, what's up? All right, so I've been at that. All right, cool. So as you see with the title, you don't have pretty much watch this. All right. So I know 4th of July weekend already passed. Hope everyone had a great 4th of July, great Independence Day, was able to hang out with family, friends, barbecue. But now we should be all back into it, into that daily grind. You know what I'm saying? So when it comes down to it, what I like to talk about is like for people that don't have time to meal prep, especially if you're like a busy person, you work a lot. Like some people think meal prepping is only for individuals like bodybuilders or trainers, people that just have a lot of time, maybe housewives, people work from home. But when it comes down to like, being a doctor, lawyer, you're a CEO, you run a company, you don't have time to meal prep, right? And some of it, you just don't got time. You got family, you got kids you have to take care of. You don't want to make a different meal. You don't want to, ask the wife to make you something separate from what she's already making. There's tons of things, right? Tons of reasons why people can't meal prep. But I always say this, man, meal prepping plays such a great role when it comes to achieving a goal. And I always say what you want to do is number one, like w- first have a reason why you need to meal prep, because obviously if you're just like going out a lot, you're eating, you're ordering meal prep companies that's not even macro friendly, you're just buying meals online because you've heard online like, oh well, I don't have time to meal prep, so I'm just going to order these meals online and think that you're going to get some results, and you only saw like very small results. The reason is because the foods are not like matched up to your actual goals. You know what I'm saying? It's just not. And here's one thing. I've seen many entrepreneurs, especially because I do train a lot of entrepreneurs, that they'll order from a meal prep company, right? And then they'll get something that's not customized to their goals. They just see something that they like, it looks good, and they just assume when it comes to meal prepping, this is what everyone's talking about online. This is what all the fitness gurus are talking about. Like, well, I need to hire a coach if to write a meal plan that I have to cook my own meals anyway. If I could just get a company to do it for me, and the reason you're not getting those results is mostly because those meals are just the same meals you would eat out, right? You would go out and eat, but they're just putting in the meal prep container and saying that it's healthy. Get all caught up with the ads and the delicious meals, maybe the diversity with like because so you get caught up with that. You're ordering it, and you probably saw 10 pounds reduction. I've even seen it where people even actually gain more weight. They're like, yo, what the hell? I actually gained an extra 15, 20 pounds on this meal prep subscription. Maybe I'm bulking, right? Nah. The problem is that the meals aren't designed for you. A lot of meal prep companies, what they do is that they just make delicious meals and they deliver it for you, and they call it meal prep. They use that word is being used around like it's crazy, but you need something that's customized. So when it comes to making time to meal prep, this first I always say before I even get into it, you have to have a why. What is your reason why you need a meal prep? Have you tried everything already? Have you tried just reducing your food intake? Have you tried, like not eating your wife's cooking every single day? Have you tried reducing the fast food? Whatever you tried, have you tried those things that and haven't seen results? Right. Next is when you have your reason why you want to meal prep. Like for example, my reason why I meal prep is because I have full control of the foods that I put into my body, because I only get one body and I want to be able to fuel it efficiently so I'm able to perform throughout the day and be able to have optimal blood work and health so I can live a long life. All right. That's my reason. Now, what is your reason? Some people tell me your reasons down below in the comments, right? Let me know your reasons and I'm going to answer some questions. So, someone says, someone asks, how did you give up meat? Was it difficult because I want to become vegetarian, but it's hard to giving up meat? Well, it kind of goes along with why you want to meal prep, right? Same thing. What's your reason? What's your point? What's your reason why you want to give up meat? You know, your why has to be more bigger, has to be big enough or bigger than your excuses. You know what I'm saying? When your why is bigger enough than your excuses, you do whatever it takes. You know what I'm saying? And it sounds like a very vague answer, but that's the reality. You have to, your why has to be bigger than your excuses, man. You know what I'm saying? So it's like I went vegan and I gave up meat because first, animal ethics. I didn't like what I was seeing, right? That's number one. And then number two was for health because I was overweight. I wanted to improve my body. So when I want to do something, you don't strive for what you want. You strive what you must have. And when you strive for on the things that you must have, you're going to work harder and you're going to do whatever it takes. See, because you said that I want to become vegetarian. See, that's your problem because you want to. You're not telling me that I'm going to be a vegetarian. Words of context plays a lot. So when you say I just want something, how badly do you want it? Probably not that bad because you're struggling. You know what I'm saying? But when you must have it, when you're like, I'm going to be a vegetarian, you know, and you start using some words of confirmations, especially in your thought pattern, those things starts becoming more reality and your mindset starts to change. Yeah, and we live in 2025. I'm not trying to kind of break you down and make fun of you and stuff, but I'm trying to motivate you here. It's like, yeah, it's 2025. Like, we have Chat GPT, we have Google, we have so many resources these days. How is it hard? You know what I mean? Like, why are you craving that meat? What is it that's making you crave meat? You know what I'm saying? What is it? Is it just the the texture in your fucking mouth? Like, what is it? You know what I mean? So you have to give yourself a reason, because like for me, that was my reason. It was easy. The hardest part wasn't putting food in my mouth. That's the least of my problems. I don't have that. I don't struggle with that issue. Controlling food to put in my mouth. I don't have these issues. The problem that I had was, like, especially when I was doing it, was there was no mock meats. There was no information out there. So it was just trying to find help in making sure that I'm making balanced meals. But it wasn't hard to go vegan. It wasn't hard. It wasn't hard to go plant-based. It was just hard. How could I do it right? That was the hard part. How can I do it right? And that's where it came down to the knowledge. But to do it, you kind of already know the answer to your own question. You know, like, if you want to go vegetarian, eat vegetables, you eat eggs, drink milk, eat dairy products, eliminate meat. Like, how hard is that? You know what I'm saying? So, like, you have to kind of have a really strong reason why you want to do this. So what's your why? Let me know in the comments. What is your why? Give me a valid reason of your why, and then we could talk more about this. Okay, but that's what you have to do, man. Let's see. I have a question more related to ethics when buying almonds. For example, should I look into if it's a California almond, bees exploit pollination? It's up to you. Like it depends, like how strong your ethics are. If you have time to do all that stuff. I'm not that type of person that goes that in depth when it comes down to like almond production and stuff like that. Like I just don't eat animal byproducts. That's it. You know what I'm saying? And the only time I would have an animal byproduct is like if it's like medication or something like that I have to take, and I just can't get around it. Like I'm going to do it. So for example, like sometimes I get allergies, right? So I take Claritin. Claritin has traces of dairy in it. I take it. You know, am I vegan? Am I not vegan? I don't know, and I don't care. I don't care what people think. I don't care about the fucking label of being vegan. I just know that I don't eat animal byproducts unless I have to. And so when it comes down to medications, that's when I have to do it. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not perfect. So it's like, you have to kind of think about it, like how far are you willing to go? Because it's not about me, you know it's about you. How far down the rabbit hole do you want to go down to the ethics? I'm not here to judge people and stuff like that. I'm just here to share what I do in my lifestyle and how I help others. You know what I'm saying? But how deep do you want to go down that rabbit hole? Like, do you want to like look at every single brand of almond, make sure bees aren't getting exploited, or you're just someone that's like, look, man, I'm doing my best, man. I live in a world that mostly consumes meat, and I'm just trying to eliminate as much animal byproducts as much as possible. Like that's it. So it's up to you. So that's something that you have to ask yourself. You know what I'm saying? But for me, I don't pay attention to none of that stuff, man. I get almonds. I don't care if it's from California, from Mexico. I don't give two shits, man. I just eat a plant-based diet, man. You know what I'm saying? That's how I am, to be very honest with you. I don't go to those extremes, like, because you have to kind of think, like, when you start going down that rabbit hole, start going down to those extremes, it's like, what's next? You're going to stop driving your car. You're going to stop flying an airplane because birds get hit. You're going to stop driving your car because bugs get hit. You know what I'm saying? Like, it really, really depends on that stuff. Like, how far down the rabbit hole do you want to go? And I have all respect for people who goes to those extremes, man. But for me, I don't think that's really making the significant difference of what's going on around this world, man. You know, like, we're not there yet. So it's totally up to you what you want to do when it comes down to that type of stuff. Someone asked me, their goal is to have more energy to reach my goal and passions. That's a good goal. You know what I'm saying? Now, when it comes to that goal, this is something I always ask people when before they join my program, like they're interested in joining my program, because the thing is that when I'm like I I have a business, right? Body HD Fitness. So obviously, when you're on a phone call with me, it's a sales call. I'm trying to sell you a program. But when it comes to selling, I'm trying to see what is the best program that's going to work for you so you can be successful. I'm not just trying to sell you anything. I'm trying to sell you what's going to really match up with you and your lifestyle, what's going to work best so you can be successful. But the question I always ask is this, because I'm not really doing the selling. What I'm doing is just asking particular questions to see how sold you are to yourself. Because I have confidence in my own program. You know, I have confidence that if you do it, you're going to get results. I mean, I've had it's proven over 1,000 plus times, of 1,000 plus testimonials of people got great results. About me, trying to sell your program, because I already know it works, right? So the question I always ask is this: from a scale of 1 to 10, how serious are you when it comes to reaching that goal? So if you're saying that you want to have more energy to reach the goals and you're passionate, well, how serious are you about that when it comes to scale 1 to 10? Because see, you have to sell yourself. You know what I mean? The people who are most successful, they sell themselves into success. It's not the other way around. Only thing coaches do is we give you a little bit of motivation, but we just give you the tools. So it takes out a lot of the guesswork and it saves you a lot of time. And it's something that's proven so you can actually see the results when you actually do it versus like trying to do it on your own. So when it comes down to that, from scale 1 to 10, how serious are you? When it comes to that. Someone else asked, I went vegan and struggled with gut issues like bloating for the first 4 months, but I did it. I didn't give up. I felt strong conviction to keep learning and keep going. Now I've been vegan for 8 years. That's great. See what Blaze the Lion said is a great reason, because see, most people, when you get bloating issues going plant based, like they'll just give up because of uncomfortability. But see, what he showed is that, I mean, obviously there's, we could look down like the gut microbiome and the fiber intake. I mean, we could look at it from a medical perspective for sure. That can help him with the gut and the bloating, right? Because obviously it has something to do with the gut microbiome and the fiber intake. But see, but what he did was he pushed through uncomfortability, and also what he did was he probably found out a way. You know what I'm saying? So he didn't just sit there and play victim, because there's two cards you can play in this world. It's either you're the victim or you're the hero. Which one you going to play, man? You know what I'm saying? Or like, how do you want to write your story? You want to write your story about all the times you fail and became a loser and nothing worked in your favor? Or every time you face some type of adversity, you overcome it, you figured it out, and you got it done. You know what I'm saying? And Blaze the Lion, he got it done. He didn't let adversity stop him. Good job, man. Glad to hear that. Did you transition yourself from vegetarian to vegan first? No. What I did was I went pescatarian first, and then I transitioned to vegan, and I did it all on my own. And what I did was I invested in myself. So at the time, I was in school, so I invested like 30K to get a degree in exercise science and physiology, and also became a certified sport nutritionist. So that's what I did. You know what I mean? Because that's how bad I wanted to learn. And when you learn, you invest. It's either you're going to it's two things it's going to happen. It's either you're going to spend the time to do your own research if you want to do it the cheap and free route, or if you're someone that likes speed, because I love speed. I don't have time to be doing a ton of research. I just want the answers. So I'll pay. I'll invest. So that's what I did. I just invested in myself. And when you invest in education, I mean, it's the best investment you can ever get back. You know what I'm saying? Because you could monetize that, and which I have. I built a business around the investment that I did, and uh, with HD Fitness, we made multiple six figures. So the 30 to investment, what it when it comes to transitioning, when it comes to being fit, when it comes to being healthy, I mean, what is it that you want to do to invest in yourself? Like, what is it going to take to invest? You know what I'm saying? So to answer your question, like, yeah, with me, I invested and figured it out, got it done. What do you think about vegan margarine from sunflower seed, shea butter, coconut oil without palm? Is it good for your gut? I mean, the thing about vegan margarine, I don't take it on an everyday basis. Like, first of all, I personally think it's unnecessary calories. But when it comes down to the gut microbiome, I mean, if you're having it here and there, no, it's not going to affect your gut. But everything has like moderation. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not the guy who's going to sit there and deal in all this crap, man. Like, because the same people who talks about this is the same people that like have eating disorders. You know what I'm saying? And that's really goes down to, because to a normal person, like, I could eat butter. Yeah, okay, I had it. Like, am I going to die? No. So like that's the questions you have to ask. Like, if I had it once in a blue moon, like, am I going to die? You know, And sometimes I think you have to kind of think to yourself, like, you know the answers. Like, if you had margarine every single day and you dumped it on every top on all your food sources, do you think it's good or bad? Like, you have to think about it like that, not like, oh, if I just put on a piece of toast for breakfast or something like that. Like, it's not going to harm you. But if you're dumping it all over all your food products, I mean, what do you think? I always like reversing the question on them, because I'm like Yoda, man. I'll be like, man, like, what? Why ask questions which you already have the answers to? You know what I'm saying? So, like, what do you think? What's your thoughts on it? I want to hear it. Write it down in the comments. What's your thoughts on the vegan margarine? What do you think? If it's healthy, do you feel like it's good for your gut? Do you think it's bad? I mean, do you feel like moderation is the key? Like, what's your thoughts on that? You know what I mean? Let me know. Again, I'm not here to criticize people, but sometimes I think people have to be a little bit reasonable when it comes to health and fitness, and not so extreme. Do for health reasons, yeah, but health. Let's see. All right, going back to Kazin, he said, like, yeah, he wants to. I want to do it for health reasons to better my health, and then, yeah, you need to do it yourself. Yeah, exactly. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I mean, man. Like, if you want to go vegetarian, like, just do it. You know what I'm saying? Nothing just do it. Just drop out the meat, replace it with eggs, with milk. Any type of meat that you're craving for, find a vegan option, replace it with that, and you should be good. It's not that hard. You know, and if your reason is for health, like, how bad do you want it? From scale 1 to 10, I mean, how bad do you want to be vegetarian for your health? That's the most important goal, because that's what's going to really play a big ripple effect as you go through it. Because for me, I've been doing this for 13 years, man. 13 years. And you know why? Because I wanted to be plant based. That's it. It was just like, I wanted to do it for my health, for longevity. I wanted to do it for aesthetic reasons. I wanted to do it to help other people, because a lot of people don't know what the hell they're talking about, what they're doing when it comes to being on a plant based diet. That's why a lot of people fail it, but that's why I do it. And that's why I stay doing it, because, yeah, it's like, yeah, there's some animal ethic points of views from it too, but it's not only for that. It's also for me, and also for helping other people as well. So that's why I'm able to do it, and I enjoy it. Like, I don't crave meat. When people ask me, "Do you crave it?" I'm like, I don't crave it, man. I'm not addicted to shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't have an addiction. My addiction is, like, I would always tell people, like, if you ask me my addiction is just working out a lot. I don't know when to rest, because I always feel like I have to keep moving, I have to keep working, I have to keep doing things. I can't stand still. So my addiction is just keep working out, keep doing things, man. I don't like being sitting around doing shit, you know. So I don't have like addictions like that. Like, I don't have a weak mind, man. I have very strong willpower. And I built that because I just saw how other people are weak, and they get addicted to stupid things. And I just looked at I look at, again, I'm not trying to make fun of people. Like, everyone got their things, you know what I'm saying? But, like, for me, I just see it as like some type of weakness, and I'm just like, how can I not be that? So when I see someone dealing with something, I always ask, like, how can I not be that? And I build my mindset like that, from other people failures or things that they're going through, so I can never fall within that. Because I just want to be different. You know what I mean? Yeah. Someone says, "Get serious or delirious." Yeah, that's, and you know what? It is a good saying. It is a really good saying. Let's see. Okay, he said, going back to this butter stuff, says, I don't think it's healthy though. Just one of my opinion. Yeah, my opinion is very simple. It's like with all foods, everything with moderation. But you have to know what that moderation really means to you. You know what I'm saying? So, like, for example, someone who eats margarine every single day and put it on a slice of toast for breakfast, but let's say 80% of their foods is whole foods, plant based. They eat healthy, they work out all the time. I mean, I'm not going to see margarine as a big problem, or it's going to interrupt their gut. You know what I'm saying? But let's say someone who uses margarine on all their food products, they don't work out, all the other foods that they're eating around that with the seed oils is like processed foods, junk food. They're not eating a lot of vegetables. They're not eating very healthy. Then it would be unhealthy. You know what I'm saying? Then it would be unhealthy. But again, like for someone who's having it on a slice of toast, but the rest of their diet is healthy, it's not a problem. And this is something that's not being told online. Like no one's not really taking their time to explain this, is because it's not about what's really healthy or what's not healthy. It's about what's what's the major everything that you're consuming within your lifestyle. That's what it's about. The accumulation of everything. You know. So when I eat, 80 to 90% of it is whole foods, plant based. That small 10% would be like junk food. You know what I'm saying? So 90% of what I eat in a week is single ingredients, real foods. And if it is processed, it's minimally processed, like tofu, tempeh, seitan, maybe some mock meats, some protein powders. But everything else is whole foods, plant based. And then that last 10% is going to be like ultra processed foods. And if you've been following me for a long time, you know what it is. It's fucking donuts, man. I love donuts. And guess what? Donuts are made with seed oils. Do you think I give two shits? I don't. you know, but when it comes to my blood work, it's optimal. So that's why it's not a big problem for me. And this is why I'm telling y'all that you can have like your favorite foods. You could have like a cake, or you want to put margarine on your toast. You could have these things. You don't have to live such an extreme lifestyle, because what happens when some people go extreme, some people could do it, but most of the time the people that usually go extreme, they usually have a problem themselves. And it's something that a lot of people aren't catching these days. People who are very extreme with a particular lifestyle and don't have true balance of what they eat, you know, they usually have like some type of sick condition. And then they also make other people go bad, go bad, have not bad, but like have a not a good relationship with foods as well. So some people could do it because they just love it. Like for example, there's raw vegans out there. They love being raw, but their reasons behind it is usually because spirit, like very like what from what I've seen, because I've dibble dabbled in all these communities. What from what I've seen, most of them are very tied to like a more spiritual aspect. So when it comes to like the whole raw vegan thing, I'm just using this as an example. People who tend to stay with it the most is because they probably have a strong ethical view, but maybe even a strong spirituality view that's tied into it. So that's why they're able to do it for a longer time. It's not just because it's healthy. It's because their why and what they and certain roots that they tie to that why to make it strong. So they're able to do it for a very, very long time. But if you're just like, oh, I just want doing it for health, well, once you're healthy, you're not going to do it anymore eventually, because like you don't have to stick with a particular diet to be healthy. You could eat meat and be healthy. You know what I'm saying? Like you could literally eat meat and be healthy. So when people go plant based or something like that and they're doing it for health, more likely they go back to eating meat because their goal was just health, and they didn't tie any other strong belief systems or reasons to stick with a particular diet. So and these are things you have to kind of think about it yourself. You know, what's my favorite way to consume soy chunks? Just boil them, like how you make it in the back of the package, pretty much. Nothing real, nothing too unique. I'm a pretty simple guy. But let's go back to the whole meal prep. So yeah, let's go back to meal prep. So when it comes to the meal prep, so one of the things that I do to make meal prep easy and fast is I bulk. I bulk cook a lot of my foods. So, like for example, like someone talked about tofu scramble, right? So then I'm not like these meal prep like chef creators where I make like a bunch of boxes of foods for the day. It is a little bit more convenient, but the problem about that is like the food's not super fresh, right? And so like what I do, because I love fresh food, I love the seasoning. I don't like warming up a lot of foods, right? Too much. So what I do is I'll batch cook a lot of things. So batch cooking is when what you do is this: you like if I have rice, I'll make a big pot of rice. Beans, the same thing, big pot of beans. Sweet potatoes, big batch of sweet potatoes. And then I'll put that in the fridge. So those are in meal prep containers. And then what I'll do is just measure the foods and put it into my plate and then take it out, right? So there's certain foods that's fine for warming up, like sweet potatoes, rice, um, what else did I say? Beans, like those are things that's good for reheating. But let's say like a tofu scramble, it's not the best foods for reheating, right? So what I'll do is I'll have certain ingredients already pre-chopped, like mushrooms, onions, bell peppers, garlic. I'll have those already pre-chopped, and then when it comes to making the tofu scramble, I'll just throw it in, throw all the ingredients in the pan. It's already pre-chopped and everything, stir fry it, and then throw it into my meal prep container, and then I head out. And this is why, like, a lot of the meals that I make online, I call it like the nickname that I call it with my students is fast meal prep hacks, because I show you ways to make meal plans or meal prep very easy and fast for you. And that's it. That's how I usually do it. You know, that's the key. You want to kind of know what you're going to eat throughout the week too. You want to plan that ahead. So when it comes to like my students, I give them like I give them their recipe playbook, and with that recipe playbook, they already know what they're eating for the week. They just have to prep and batch cook some of those meals. So if they're ready to eat it, they can go ahead and do it. You know, and again, it only takes like 5-15 minutes to create each meal. It's either they just have to put it together, or they just have to measure it and throw it into a meal prep container each day, and then just leave and then head out. You know what I'm saying? My favorite grocery store is going to be Whole Foods. That's my favorite. All right, y'all. So I guess that's all the questions. So I'm going to go ahead and let y'all go, man. Glad that y'all showed up, asked some cool questions, and then I'll talk to y'all soon. Have a good day. Peace.